Okay, hi everybody. So in this video here, we're just going to do a quick example of a rationalizing problem. We're going to rationalize the numerator here. So I'm starting off with, I've got the square root of 5 plus h minus the square root of 5 minus h all over h. And I am going to multiply that because I've got my radicals in a binomial. I'm going to multiply it by the conjugate. It turns out it's an interesting little situation here, but if you were to just square that, if you were to multiply it by itself, it turns out you don't actually get rid of the radicals the way you might expect. With a monomial you do, but with a binomial you don't because of how the distribution works. So here, when we multiply by the conjugate, what we're going to do is create a difference of squares in that numerator. Okay, and so when we multiply those, and I'm just going to copy out that denominator there right now, but in the numerator, what I'm going to get is the root of 5 plus h multiplied by the root of 5 plus h will be 5 plus h. And I'm going to put that in parentheses. Because of the subtraction in between, I want to make sure that I'm consistent with this. Then I'm going to multiply by the square root of 5 minus h. Square root of 5 minus h will be just 5 minus h. Now I'm going to drop the parentheses and distribute the negative through. Okay, now in just a second here, once I've finished writing that out here, the single most common mistake made at this point here is to not distribute the negative through and to leave that as a negative right there, that h. Okay, but the negative distributes through. And so what happens here is the 5s are going to cancel. And in the numerator, I've got two h's. In the denominator, I've got h multiplied by the square root of 5 plus h plus the square root of 5. Whoops. Sorry, that's a minus there, minus h. And then my h's are going to cancel. Now, when that happens, there has been a bit of a change in the function that I need to address. And the change is this. Right from the beginning, there was a restriction on that expression there that h could not be equal to 0. Now that I'm here, I've kind of eliminated that option. So what I need to do in order to make these things equal, I have to include the little statement here that h cannot be equal to 0. Okay, I hope that makes sense.